Kate Swoboda, director of the Courageous Living Coach Certification Program, shares her journey and those of numerous clients to help you overcome the fear that stops you from living your dreams. She mixes anecdotes with written and reflective exercises and offers supportive online worksheets. Swoboda provides a potentially uncomfortable but useful examination of how you react and deal with fear, your inner critical voice, and the absolute truths that traumatic or repeated experiences can carve into rock. Her exercises take time, but they'll nourish new self-knowledge. Swoboda doesn't repeat aphorisms or wave magic wands. She focuses on long-term, daily work. You can read the book quickly, but the work takes much longer. Nevertheless, it can only strengthen your self-awareness and your relationships. Managers, leaders, and staff can apply her insights to challenge, understand, and overcome their own self-doubt, fears, and limitations. Do you want to change? Have you ever felt stuck or wanted to improve your career, marriage, health, or relationship with yourself? Whatever your impetus, you might fear change and what it can bring. The Courage Habit model provides specific steps you can use to understand what you truly want to change, why changing can be difficult, and how to overcome the fear that blocks change. To achieve change, you must change your relationship with fear and with your internal critical voice, and then address some decades-old truths about life. Liberated Day. To pinpoint specific elements of change, describe, by writing it down, a liberated day, a day when you live the life you want without limits. Be free with your thoughts, dreams, and ideas while detailing what it would be like from morning until night. This exercise is not an action item list. It facilitates what living courageously as a state of being would look like for you. A second writing exercise, honoring the value of courage, explores what various areas of your life, family, friends, career, and body, would be like if the bravest version of yourself were in charge. Fear appears in different forms for different people. Being aware of your feeling of being fearful opens the door to understanding your own processes. Change can be overwhelming. Select only 3 items as your primary focus goals. These can be action-focused, such as trying to travel or becoming more spiritual, or being truer to who you are. Compassionate goals that involve doing things for other people empower you more than self-focused goals. Personal goals are likelier to succeed when you tie them to a collective benefit. Explain the why behind your 3 primary focus goals and work to identify the community benefit for each. This solidifies your desire to carry them out. The brain and habits. The brain's basal ganglia is a key area for forming habits and experiencing fear. It's hardwired so that a cue triggers behaviors or responses, a routine, which a reward then follows. A reward is anything that reduces the stress of the initial cause. This process repeats all day. Some routines aren't intense, while others raise immediate and crippling fear or self-doubt. To change a habit, you must change the routine of the cue routine reward cycle. Habitual fear routines. Knowing how you automatically react to fear, self-doubt, or uncertainty gives you awareness. Being aware of your actions is the first step toward changing them. While people handle fear many ways, the 4 most common reactions are: first, the perfectionist routine. You may be critical of yourself and those around you. You try to camouflage aspects of yourself while overperforming. Perfectionists often set incredibly high standards for themselves. Second, the saboteur. You may be psyched at first about a project, goal, or direction, but falter before completing it. Third, the martyr routine. Instead of working on your own goals or needs, you focus on others due to your fear of people being angry at you. Finally, the pessimist routine. You feel a profound lack of hope about meeting your goals. The courage habit. Thinking about which of these routines resonates with you provides the insight and information you need to delve deeper into creating a courageous life. The Courage Habit Model will help you achieve that goal. Its 4 areas build on one another. The first area is access the body. Learn to understand what fear feels like in your body and where you feel it. Fear manifesting in your body may make you revert to familiar choices that don't function well for you. Understand what happens physically when you are cued into a habitual fear response routine. Use a body scan technique to check in with your body from head to toe for 3 to 5 minutes a day. Ask specific areas of your body a benign question such as, "Hey, what's up today?" You can hone in on sensations that might connect to fear. You may feel such a sensation in your stomach, in tight muscles, or in a sense of distraction. If sitting quietly and breathing don't work for you, try dancing, running, doing yoga, stretching, hiking, or visualizing during your body scan. Carry out your scan daily and note the feelings that emerge. Some people may dislike the process or feel overwhelmed by their emotions. Both reactions usually connect to discomfort about facing issues. Find external ways to limit the scope of the exercise. This can provide you with a safe framework in which to explore emotions or any discomfort you feel. Set a timer, ask a friend to call, commit to a walk or exercise immediately afterward, or ask a friend to be your venting partner. He or she will listen without judgment as you work through issues that arise. The second area is listening without attachment. Learn how to listen to your internal critic, everybody has one, without believing what it says. Then discover how to change the conversation. As the body physically reacts to fear, the mind has several ways of easing the stress. One is an internal voice or critic that by its criticism protects you and tries to help you avoid whatever the stressful situation might be. If you regularly ignore, assault, or gratify your critic, you may believe you vanquish it. Take a moment to access your body and honestly transcribe the words your critic uses when you think of your 3 primary focus goals. Don't translate the critic's words. Write them down as they affect your goals. With the words on paper, check in with your body. That alone can change the cue routine reward process. It helps you distance yourself from the words of your inner voice by giving you compassion for the fear it embodies and for your potential connection to the person or people the critical voice might reflect. That inner voice is a worthy friend who communicates poorly. Viewing it in terms of a relationship allows you to define boundaries and require more respectful communication. For example, if a wife comes home having forgotten, for perhaps the 3rd time, to run a needed errand, her husband may make a sharp comment. The wife could ask her husband to redo, please, his comment. Asking another person for more respectful communication is productive because it unveils the core issue in your discussion and can foster mutually respectful dialogue. Ask for the same respect from your internal critic to discern the fear that underlies the reasons for the criticism or derision. Strive to uncover the basis of that fear. Seek to understand your wound that you must heal, not the armor the critic wears on your behalf. Understanding your internal wounds, injuries everyone has, lets you take the next step in reviewing your constrained ideas of what you can achieve in your life. The third area is reframing limiting stories. Learn to modify and change some of the truths that limit what you believe you can do. Have you ever wanted to do something that you thought you couldn't, like compete in a triathlon? You may hold a simple assumption that you aren't athletic, and you believe that assumption. This false truth is not your critic. It's a constricting capital S story that undermines your goals. Stories often come from childhood, a lack of resources, or a perceived inability. These limiting stories align with your fear routines. A pessimist may believe a story that no effort will make a difference, while perfectionists may believe that only incredibly hard work will make them worthy. To uncover your stories, return to your 3 primary focus items and connect with the emotions they evoke. While in that feeling, finish the prompts of, I'm frustrated because, or this feels so difficult because. Note how your critic reacts to this. What does it say you should or shouldn't do or be? The next step again uses prompts, such as, when I am most brave, I still think I cannot. Pull out the stories you may tell yourself. Using the information from these exercises, write down all the possible stories you can identify. Be careful not to edit the stories through a logical lens before writing them down. Most of the stories you hold as truths can't exist in the light of day. This is why, as you wrote them down, you may have wanted to discount or change them. A question like, do I truly believe this story, can bring to mind experiences that show the story isn't true, or that you found it untrue in your life. Reframing the beliefs you wrote down so they have basis in fact, in what you consciously believe to be true, can break the power of these repeating stories. To reframe your stories, start with an aspect of a story that is true, such as, in this moment, I am in debt. By stretching it into a more optimistic direction, it may become, in this moment, I'm in debt, and I'm determined to change that. Maybe you are not a triathlete, but a disciplined training schedule could move you toward your goal of competing in an athletic event. After working through changing your stories, choose whether to believe the absolute ones that initially appeared in your writing, or the stretched ones that empower you to realize your abilities and new possibilities. The work of understanding how fear appears in your body, being able to hear without adhering to your critic, and changing your long-held stories helps create and maintain new, healthy habits. The fourth area of the courage habit model is reach out and create community. Learn to strengthen your community and create a larger, supportive one for your transition into a more courageous life. Participating in a group of like-minded people facilitates change. Defining your courage-based community means creating a network of existing friends or new acquaintances who demonstrate courage and overcome fear by helping each other. This can be a group of people or one person. They back up your dreams and your wish to change. Consider the people in your life and note the ones you feel show their caring natures. Review your list for those who are vulnerable, optimistic, and empathetic. Seek people who don't talk unkindly about others. Your courage-based friends may question your actions or statements, but do so without judgment. If you're an introvert, work through the physical discomfort, fear, of being social, as well as the critic's voice and any self-truths that you believe. The first 3 steps of the courage habit target your individual fears and goals. Use those steps to find new relationships and to improve existing ones. Being open about who you are creates a supportive community. Like most people, you may hide part of yourself. Often, that hiding is automatic, and you remain unaware of it. For example, perhaps you paint a perfect picture of your life on social media to hide reality. Hiding yourself can become an infinite circle in which, because you don't trust yourself or others, you find it harder to trust, which only makes you hide out more. Just as you have stories underline why you can't do something, you may have similar stories about people with whom you hide out or about why you hide. In some instances, your effort to forge better relationships might not work, such as with a family member who criticizes your new choices or goals. As you did with your inner critic, request more respectful communication. If your difficult relationships are beyond repair, even if you use all aspects of the courage habit internally and when speaking with them, you may face difficult decisions about continuing those relationships. In other situations, showing yourself as your most brave may bring people closer to you as they recognize your new contentment.